welcome to Cost My Build platform. My name is Becca and this is another informative episode. Don't forget to log on to our website, check out our features. We also have the escrow payment features, which is better for everyone. Transparency is key with Cost My Build. Okay, now this is another episode which is informative. We're going to be talking about the flooding that recently happened in Ghana, the mistakes that people are actually paying for not doing right by picking up the right materials in terms of building. When people start building in Ghana, right, one of the first decisions they try to make is how to save money. Like in terms of building, the moment they think about building, they think, I have to save money. Okay, and the most of the time, that saving money starts with a sentence that is says, let's use the cheaper materials. It will still do the job. Even if you're renting, right, if you go to like say estate, where estate housing are supposed to be valuable to you, that the materials you see there should give you value for money, but you go and you're disappointed because the estate developers, all they're thinking about is we need to save money. I mean, we need to put in little but gain more. And so when you go, you get disappointed with the kind of materials they select in building. But no, Cost My Build is not like that. At first, it sounds smart. Like when you think about it, everyone thinks, okay, you're smart for wanting to save money and not to use a lot of money in buying expensive materials. So you are trying to reduce costs, you are trying to finish faster, and you are trying to stretch your budget without exceedingly expending too much. But here is the truth. Most people only realize later that cheap materials don't save money. I mean, it don't save you money, but rather it delays your problem. Especially now during the rainy season in Ghana, we are seeing something very important, right? The buildings are actually revealing true qualities. Do you get it? Walls are cracking. I had a conversation with someone and he says his whole manufacturing company was just flooded. That was because the force of the water had broken down his wall, and he made a complaint that the pillars used in building the wall, the fence wall, wasn't strong enough, and there was not even pillars at all, which is bad. Okay, so walls are cracking, roofs are leaking, floors are sinking, paint is peeling, and homeowners are asking one question: why is my house already having problems? Like, when I finished the building, why is my house already having problems? Today, we are breaking down why cheap materials fall so quickly, what actually happens after just one rainy season, and how smart planning and vendor transparency can save you from expensive mistakes. You can be outside the country. You don't need to calm down, or you don't need to be outside and hear that your building or your project has all been collapsed because of a flood. That was because you obviously didn't see the materials that were used during your project. Now, transparency is key here. All the vendors are on the Cost My Build platform. You get to see the kind of materials they are using while building or while executing your building project. Now, this is the real meaning of cheap materials. When we say cheap materials, it doesn't necessarily always mean the lowest price. It usually means poor quality cement, weak blocks, substandard roofing sheets, low grade iron rods, cheap paint that fades quickly, poor plumbing pipes. The problem is not just the price, and the list goes on and on and on, because obviously that's why people tell you that if you meet the contractor and you ask the contractor, how much do you think will be enough, or how much do you think I would need to pour into my building project for a 3-bedroom house, and the contractor tells you that you need about 400,000 cedis, and you say, oh, 400,000 cedis is too much, let's do 250,000. Of course, he'll work with the 250,000 cedis, but later in the future, you're going to pay the cost. Because definitely now you'd realize that probably the drainage system is terrible. Your glass fixed is just How are mosquitoes able to pass through them? Your lighting is just gone bad, the wooding is terrible, and now you don't even feel at peace living in your own home. So this is the case. It's not always about the money, but it's about choosing the right materials. You can go for something less expensive but durable. Okay, don't always bargain too much, because if you bargain too much, you're definitely not going to like what you would get in the future. In construction, materials are not just about how they look on day one, they are about how they behave after. If heat happens, if rain, if there's pressure, if time is going, how is my building still going to look? You build or you put up a project, and in 2 months you realize that there are lots of changes, and it's terrible. And in Ghana, the biggest test is always during the rainy season. As I said, during this rainy season in Accra here, there's been a lot of expose regarding building projects in Ghana. So if you already have one of your building projects going on, you better get someone to check on it for you. You better ask if everything is okay, if it has been flooded. If not, then this now is the best time to use the Cost My Build platform to make the best decision, because the rain exposes everything. This is why people still choose cheap materials. Most people don't choose cheap materials because they don't care. They choose them because of pressure, the budget pressure. I don't have money right now, so let's just work with this. Speed pressure. I mean, I want to complete this quickly. I'm giving you 6 months, do this. And of course, the contractor will do it for you. Contractor influence. The contractor, he's just taking his money, so he'll definitely tell you what you want to hear. A lack of knowledge. There's a saying that goes that for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So if you lack the knowledge of what it goes into building, you are definitely going to perish in the future. People simply don't know the difference between quality and low-grade materials. And this is where the problem starts. Because in construction, you don't see the consequences immediately, you see them later. Some months later, sometimes after the first rainy season, sometimes after you've already moved in. Trust me, the most painful thing is, especially when you're going to rent and you've already moved in, and now you realize that, why didn't I even wait? But you won't actually even experience it the moment you go in. You have to live there first 2 months before I realize that this is a whole lot. I can't take it any longer. Now, this is what will happen to you if you just pick any contractor anywhere and allow them to pick your materials for you. You're going to live in regrets. You're not going to get that money back. This is the true cost of cheap. Okay, here's the truth. Cheap materials don't just fail. They multiply your cost, because now you are paying extra for repairs, for replacements, and labor again. Okay, now your time is being delayed, and instead of saving money, you will end up spending twice or even 3 times more. This is how you can avoid these expensive mistakes. Okay, the goal is to help you build the smarter way using Cost My Build platform. 1, you can prioritize your quality over short-term savings. You always have to ask, will this material last 5 to 10 years? Don't listen to an outside contractor. Okay, you can use Cost My Build transparency, or you can also ask yourself, will I have to replace this in 2 years? The second thing is to use transparent vendors. Now, with the transparent vendors, if you use the Cost My Build platform, we use the escrow system to make payments. So with this one, if you make your payments and you are not even sure about the second party receiving the payment, the escrow payment is there to hold the funds until the product or services has been served before the payment will be released. So either ways, both parties are safe. One major issue in construction is lack of transparency. What materials are being bought, how much they cost, where they are sourced from. Now all these will be taken away from you. There will be no headache involving this. That's because all the vendors on the platform whichever materials you want to source from, you can get it from the Cost My Build platform. If you want to speak to the contractor or developer, you can do that. All our contractors and developers are vetted before accepted on the platform. So there is no way you're going to be scammed, or there's no way you are going to be charged double. 3, you are going to be able to plan before you build. Many material problems happen because there are no proper planning. So if you don't plan, you just buy randomly. They can just call you and say, today the roofing wasn't enough, so we'd have to purchase more. And you didn't plan, so you'd end up doing that. That's going to take more from you. You're going to overspend in the wrong areas. So planning helps you balance the quality, the cost, and the long-term durability. The 4th one is you're able to track your project properly. I'm glad I always mention this in our videos. If you go back to watch my previous video where I discussed the kind of mistakes the aspirants make when trying to build in Ghana, it says a lot and can also help you make a better decision. So this is where platforms like Cost My Build become important, because there's no way you'd be guessing your expenses. There's already a plan. You've already used the estimation feature on Cost My Build to estimate. So plus or minus, you are still safe. Smart planning is not just about the materials, it's also about the management. If there's no management, you'd pay for an iron rod, but it won't be delivered to your site. That's because the management is not effective. And so you'd realize that you requested for about 30 cement bags, but only 20 will be delivered. But with Cost My Build, if you request for 30, you would see that your site has received exactly the 30 that you had purchased through the Cost My Build platform. The real question is not, how can I save money today? The real question is, how can I build something that will still stand strong in 10 to 20 years? The best thing is 10 to 20 years, because with that, at least you know you can make your money back no matter the years. In 10 years, your building, you can still sell it, you can still rent it out. But if you don't build the right way and choose the right method or the right platform like Cost My Build to execute your building project, then you're going to be questioning yourself a lot when it comes to finance. If you're looking to build, renovate, or start a building project soon, make sure you prioritize quality, planning, and transparency from day one. Make sure you prioritize using Cost My Build platform. And if you want smarter planning tools for your project, you can explore the estimation feature tool. You can use the escrow system, and you can also estimate and manage your building project better. Thank you for watching, and this is Cost My Build platform. My name is Becca. I'll see you in another episode. Don't forget to comment, like, share with me your experience. If you're having difficulties using the Cost My Build website, you can comment, or you can email us through the Cost My Build platform, or simply support@costmybuild.com. I'll see you in our next episode.